What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, today is a very different kind of video. So, today's the day after the 3rd anniversary of Rich Piana's passing. And, of course, yesterday on the day, everybody who knew him, fans, friends, etc., family members, everybody put up their posts, spoke out what they felt for the day. And it's always very positive to see these things, the impact that Rich left on everybody's lives, when he left. And I wanted to do something special, so I actually filmed a video yesterday. And it was for Rich, like a dedication to Rich, kind of a memorial to Rich. And I thought I would tell a story that I hadn't heard that was never told. It was an untold Rich Piana story. And in my head, it was he never said not to talk about these things, right? This is just, several 5%ers knew about what was going on. Everybody was kind of knew what was up with this story. And I was like, well, I'm going to tell that story because it's an awesome story and it really shows, how smart Rich was, and, what a showman he was, how he really understood people, right? So I filmed this whole video yesterday, right? And I'm super happy that, I filmed this video. And I watched it before I posted it. Now, I actually do that a lot now with videos. I'll watch my video before I post it to see if it is the right message I'm trying to convey. Or if I'm just fucking it up and it makes no sense. But most of the time, it is the message I'm trying to convey. And if I feel like it doesn't convey that message, I just don't put it up. I don't shoot it again. I don't make another attempt at it. I just don't put it up. So I watched the video last night, and I decided that I did not want to put it up. And let me explain why. Although this was a great story, and I think it would be a good tribute to Rich, I don't know if he wants a story told. He didn't really talk about it when he was here, right? He didn't really discuss it, on camera. Maybe he made a video and didn't put it up. But he didn't say, I don't know for a fact whether he would or would not want this video to be put up. Now, I can speculate and say, if I showed him this, he'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, put it up. That's a good video. But the reality of it is, I don't want to disrespect Rich's memory. I don't want to disrespect Rich. And I just don't know, right? I don't know for a fact because he's not here for me to ask him. So I just decided not to put it up. Now, why was I so sensitive about putting up a video, after he's gone? What difference does it make, right? You might as well just put up whatever because he's not here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether he's here or not. I've seen recently different people, pages, whatever you want to call them, posting things not only that were unreleased, that Rich didn't want to release, that he chose not to release, but I've also seen people putting things up that Rich, if he was here, would be able to defend himself, but since he's not here, he can't defend himself. So therefore, you only get one side of these stories, and that's not fair to Rich, his legacy, or who he was, or anything about the situation. If a person's not here to defend themselves, then you have no right to be putting stuff up there that is one-sided, that the person can't rebut it or defend themselves. Therefore, I feel like these people are in the wrong for putting things up that not only, I think, looks bad on Rich, right? It looks bad for him because he's not here to defend the things that he said, why he said it, etc., right? With these videos that are being put up. And it's also against him, per se, for stories that people are telling about him, right? That may paint him in a negative light or a positive light. That he's not here also to give context and talk about these things and give his side of the story so you get the full picture. I just don't think that that is a very good or humane thing to do. To fuck with somebody while they're dead and make all these decisions based on, honestly, the people just wanting views and clicks and wanting to use his name. And I literally was like, you know what? That I would be doing the same thing. I would literally be doing the same thing by putting up something that fucking, I never talked to him about. I don't know if he'd want it out or not. It's a story that I've never told. Well, the people that are around us, the other 5%ers, knew about it. And I've told several people the story and we've laughed about it and stuff. But to make it public, I just don't know. And so rather than just assume and say, wow, fuck it, whatever, and just go about, just fucking doing it, I really thought, well, would I want to hurt my friend if he was here? No. Would I want to hurt him if he wasn't here? No. So what I should do is just not post it, because we just don't know for a fact what he wants. And that's why, I didn't post the video, and that's why I'm making this video. Because I do want to say, the things that I wanted to say, which is 3 years have gone by, and not just the fitness industry, but nothing's the same, period. Outside of the fitness industry, some of us were friends with Rich, and outside of the fitness industry doing all the expos and stuff, he was a very big motivating factor, a very big inspiration to a lot of people in a lot of different ways, not just bodybuilding, but business. It didn't matter what it was, relationships, it didn't matter what it was. And the loss of Rich didn't just affect like the expos, it didn't just affect the fitness industry, it affected the world as a whole. There's a lot of people that knew who Rich was and were interested in him and motivated by him that really weren't in the fitness industry. So August 25th, 2017, the world has never been the same again in many ways. And all of us, we still talk about him. We still tell the stories. We still remember the good times. I think that as of now, most people are out there just trying to reminisce and remember his memory. Or they're out there just trying to, I guess, just console themselves, knowing that even though Rich is gone now, they had a great time while he was here. They got to be a part of something that was huge. It was worldwide. It was an amazing experience to be part of, and it was all Rich. It was all him. 5% was all him, period. I don't care what anyone says. It's not a brand. It's not a company. It was him, period. And I didn't really know what to do. I felt like letting the day go by without saying anything would be disrespectful. I think the main thing when people pass on, right? Like when you're at that moment, right? And you don't have much time. I think people just want to be remembered in the end. And I don't mean like globally. I think people just want to be remembered by their family and loved ones. They don't want to be forgotten. I think that's a big thing. I've actually talked to people in their end stages of hospice and stuff like that, and they just don't want to be forgotten. So the best thing we can do is make sure that Rich isn't forgotten, which he'll never be forgotten, but the bottom line is we want to keep that memory alive and very vivid. Like these expos just happened this past weekend, right? Not 4 years ago, 3 years ago, right? It's almost like we just had the experience and we're telling our friends about our kids or whatever the case may be. And that's how you keep the memory alive, and that's how you keep his legacy alive. So the idea was to do something, but not do something that would put like a mark on his legacy, right? Because maybe he didn't want, not a mark on his legacy, but something that would upset him. Like, I would never put a video out without asking him first. Like, I would tell him, hey, bro, I'm going to make this video, and it's about you, XYZ. You cool with that? And he'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, I would always check with him before I put something out. And he would tell me over and over again, if you can make money from my name, make it. Fucking make it. Do it. I don't give a shit. Just fucking do it, right? But I also feel like the people that are doing that right now, I feel like maybe they didn't have that permission to do that, and I didn't want to be part of that crowd. So it was important to have something to do for Rich, for his memory, and it was also important for me to get my feelings out about how I feel like the people that are doing these things, releasing footage over and over again of him that, new footage. It may not necessarily be new footage, but they keep releasing it just to try to get clicks and stuff. Oh, my friend, we're going to revisit the times that we had, and they're just trying to pull the clicks, and interviews of people that used to fucking know him supposedly and shit like that, and videos that he shot, edited, never wanted to put up are being released. I don't know who the fuck's responsible for this shit, but I just think that everybody should stop for a second and think about it. It's not working, right? What you want is the fame that Rich had, and you want it brought to you by using his name and trying to bring that attention and have people think you really gave a shit about him, or you do give a shit about him. And that's not the truth. What you're doing is trying to ride his coattails like you did when he was here. And I see it. The 5%ers see it. And I mean the 5%ers worldwide see it. It's not something where, it's like, oh, no, we think it's great that they're doing these tributes to him. It's not tributes. It's not. That's not what it is at all. It's not from the heart. It's with underlying means that are not pure. And I think that, like I said, the 5%ers, the real 5%ers, see through it. and they understand what's going on, and they now see who really had his back and who didn't have his back all along. They see who the wolf in sheep's clothing are now, and I think that's sad, to be totally honest with you, because I think 5% as a whole, and I'm not talking about the company, I'm talking about as a whole, could have continued on in his legacy if people still weren't trying to use his name and his image to make money. Like, I'm sorry, but that ship has sailed. That's just all there is to it. Rich has passed in that ship as far as using his face and his likeness and his sayings and all his images to make a lot of money has passed. That's not what people want anymore. They just want to remember him, right? They want to do right by him. And that's not necessarily trying to keep a company afloat that was Rich's vision. You know, I talk to a lot of people and they're not necessarily down with the company anymore. They love Rich. And I hope that people realize that 5% isn't a company. It's not a specific group of people. It's a way of life that Rich really wanted to facilitate. And he really wanted to get that across to people, that you can be part of the 5% by just being the best version of yourself. And I thought that, 3 years after his passing, that would probably be the take-home message, that even though he's gone, 5%, not the company, 5% the movement isn't gone. And you can keep his legacy alive by being the 5% and continuing to be the 5%. And that doesn't necessarily mean, running around as part of a company or, part of a social media trend or whatever the case may be, but just having that mentality, that's what Rich would have wanted. So Rich, it's been 3 years and we miss you. We all miss you. We all talk about you all the time. We all have a lot of fond memories. And even after 3 years, it seems like it was just yesterday that you left us, man. But we're still here and we're still working on being the 5%, no matter where we are or who we are. And we get it, man. We see through all the bullshit. We see through all of it. And regardless, that 5% movement, that'll never die, man. Rest in peace, buddy. I'm Biostreet and I approve this message. And we're out.